Warning. This program is intended for adults of legal drinking age. Whiskey is consumed and discussed. The intent is to educate our palates on the differences of whiskey flavors and not an intent to get drunk. Please drink responsibly.
We should just get...
Hi, everybody. I'm Andrew Pierce, and welcome to I Fucking Love Whiskey. There's no fight going on with Tammy and Danny. It's all fun and games. Hey, as always, I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Joseph Limbaugh.
Hello, everyone. I also fucking love whiskey. I should mention there might be some swearing in this.
Oh, yeah. We did have a preamble that did say that. So
that's true, yeah.
That's all good. And if I'm pointing over here correctly, no, I'm pointing over here correctly. We have a special guest today and two special guests, this last minute special edition of Tammy to Danny and Tammy. So welcome. Yay.
Hey, we're so glad to be here because we fucking love whiskey.
Feckin'.
It's spelled
fecking.
They don't spell it out. It's called fecking.
We fecking love
whiskey.
Well, we have a very special episode today where we picked out 4 13-year-old whiskeys, and the 13 is in celebration of Outpost 13, which is where we have landed for the last few weeks as a regular show at 5:30 on Saturdays, and in celebration of tomorrow, which is Saturday the 13th, and we'll have a full marathon of shows on Outpost 13, so you can find some great stuff, and we'll talk more about that later. But thank you, Outpost 13, for hosting us. And thank you, Danny and Tammy, for being here, and Joseph for being you and just so pretty. And you know, here I'll look back today and your beautiful beard.
There's nothing else to say. You're gorgeous, Joseph.
No one else has anything.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was a throw to my co-host, and then I get nothing back.
I'm sorry. I was just typing into some messages. I'm sorry.
Are you still preambling?
We are, sure.
This is the show. He's writing stuff during the show.
Hey, I'm interacting with chat at the same time as I'm interacting here. I'm multitasking.
Oh, that's totally cool.
People
totally don't even know how to do that. Like, that's cool.
I'm multitasking, by which I mean I'm ignoring what I'm doing and doing something else. That is me multitasking.
Aye, sir. Aye.
Ask my wife. That's exactly how that works.
You know what's going to make this go a little smoother?
Whiskey?
I think if we start with this bottle from the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society, our first whiskey today is an Ardmore SMWS 66.160 Tense Mysterious Suspense. It's a new oak hogshead with a heavy char, 13 years old, and 55.3 alcohol per volume. I've only had one whiskey so far.
Oh my goodness.
Good gravy.
This is going to be a fun show, folks. Buckle up.
All right, you do the nose.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a Candy Factory one. That's to me.
Oh boy.
Wow.
But there is, you get that depth in there. There's like, this is like a candy, it's like an underground secret candy factory run by goblins.
Underground secret candy factory.
Yeah.
There is a sweetness to it.
Like something from Harry Potter. Like, you know, it's like, and Harry, if you go underneath Gringotts, you'll find the secret goblin candy factory. You're a wizard.
Yeah. Take the toffee, all the toffee you can find. It's kind of got that toffee caramel kind of nose to it.
Yeah, it's like being drowned in a river of caramel. In a good way.
Caramel or caramel?
I think they're both acceptable pronunciations.
Yeah. Okay.
Depends on what your accent is.
We're not sticklers here.
Okay. Okay, just Stiflers here.
Just I feel like that's like the name of like a character in an 80s like movie, like
It is.
like
American Pie.
oh my god.
It's
Stifler.
Stifler. It's Sean.
Then it's a 90s. That'd be a 90s movie
yeah.
then. Yeah, a 90s raw sex comedy, right?
That's a good
Stifler.
movie to start the show on. I think, we're only going up from American Pie.
Yeah.
Set the bar low.
Did you taste this yet?
I have not.
No.
Oh boy.
Thank you.
Go from the nose into the pool.
Into the pool.
Oh my god, what is that?
It's like it's a food. It's like a food.
I feel like I'm rolling in a bed of mint.
Wow.
It's red in color, this food that I'm thinking of.
Is it lamb with mint?
That might be it, you know?
It feels very green.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
It feels very, we're already making a mess.
I definitely was not expecting the taste from the nose. Red and green. This is like Christmas.
Yeah, it's like the mint jelly on the nice red raw lamb or something. Wow.
So because our sample is in a wine glass, because we don't have the proper glassware,
I only give you one.
there's lots of legs in this. Is that due to the sugars here, or because of the? I don't know, what are what is the composition of proper Scotch whiskey?
Well, I mean, there's only three things that go into Scotch whiskey. It's water, it's yeast, and it's barley. So you've got one of those three things in there. Now, I looked this up because a lot of people have asked about the legs on alcohol. It is more associated with how much alcohol is in there, because as it coats the side of the glass, the alcohol evaporates at different rates. If it's higher alcohol, it'll evaporate faster. And that causes the water molecules to come together that are left behind, because it's only 55% alcohol. The other 45% is water. So those water molecules come together and create those rivulets that run back down into the glass. So the nose you're getting is actually the evaporation of the alcohol that comes along with some of the, malty flavors and cask flavors that are in there as well. So the legs are interesting, but they don't tell you much as far as I can see from everybody who's kind of researched it on the internet.
The chat would like to know, when are we allowed to ask Danny about his hat? So they're not asking now. They want to know when is appropriate to ask.
Good question. It's a very good question.
Anytime is appropriate.
Tammy says anytime.
Anytime.
She picked out the hat. It's her timetable.
Yes.
It was just like 10 minutes before we went to air, and she came in and goes, "Do you need a Scottish hat?" And he was like, "No, no, no." And both Joseph and I were like, "Yes, yes, he does." So I mean,
did I? I don't remember.
Joseph and Andrew joined in the party of wearing hats.
Daniel is the guest, so he must wear the hat. Yeah.
You have
mystery solved.
I pulled Joseph into that answer. It was just me that said yes. You're fine.
You can wear the Chico hat.
The Chico hat?
Well, you look good in all hats.
I do.
It's true.
That's a gift.
Tammy, this is something she will profess to people. She will say, "I look good in all hats." You can pick out the ugliest hat, and Tammy will make it work.
It's all about the rake,
Yeah.
McCready wants us to show a little leg.
I love the ooh response. Everyone.
I think it's because she also has amazing cheekbones. I think that also
helps.
Yes, and a big head and big ears. Yeah, it totally works.
Both literally and figuratively.
Does she have a big? I feel like I have a big head. I think her head is very like normal sized, or
no.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think my head is almost as big as your head.
You're what, 7 3/8?
7 5/8.
5/8?
Yeah. I think yours is 7 7/8.
Yeah.
Well, video adds to hat sizes.
Only actors could have.
This is a problem. Yes.
No one else knows.
We are tackling the issues of the time.
I got a big head, and I don't know what to do about it.
And guys love it when girls say that too.
My head is almost as big as yours? I'm not following.
It was
Depends on the context.
Yeah, it's a softball. I don't know whether I'm going to let that pitch go right by me.
This is early, but I think this is my favorite whiskey I've had so far.
Favorite whiskey alert. What?
So this is the Ardmore, you say, and where does this hail from?
This is Ardmore is a Highland.
So I'm the most Scottish of this group because I graduated Granada Hills High School Scottish Highlanders is our mascot, and I know how to do the Scottish fling, and know that it's from the Highlands.
This is a bit tenuous of a
it's harking
connection.
back to home.
Okay.
Harking back to me sweet old home.
Tamlyn, you should know that I actually am a quarter Scottish Canadian. My grandmother found this out, and I'm related to the actual historic spy that the James Bond books are based on. So
get out!
I got that going for me. Just FYI.
Wow!
Yeah.
No wonder.
Touche, Tammy.
Yes.
Joseph has just touche'd you.
Yes. Yes.
That's amazing.
I don't know about that. No, we're fully equal. Like we're equally Scottish as far as I'm concerned.
are.
Because the mascot of her school was Irish.
Yes, of course.
And you're related to the James Bond actual.
It's cultural, man. It's
Don't try to tear us down, all right?
It's cultural, yeah. These British, Irish, scum of the earth. It's a Scots.
There may be some British Irish people watching the show.
No. Me and Joseph are claiming the superiority of the Scots.
This is what it's like in our house all the time.
Yes. We're still in the first whiskey. That's correct.
Yes. Can you imagine what it's going to be like on the?
This.
I don't want to leave this.
This is good. Yeah, I don't want to move on. This is a really strong start, Andrew. What did you do to us?
As it goes on, second sip,
So
and
good.
the sweetness of it,
Mm-hmm.
it really reminds me of the kind of what you would get in a Parmesan cheese, the salt aspect of a Parmesan cheese that pops out. There are sweet elements of this that kind of pop out through the richness of it, and it's just delicious. It's delightful.
Yeah, oftentimes there'll be like a lot of savory or a lot of sweet. This has a really good balance of both, I think, like a really good balance.
Right, and that's the heavy char in the new oak barrel that got it that color, because that's pretty dark for something that's a new oak.
Now the question, of course, is, and I have barely any left, is anyone sciencing this? Because
I guess I have to. I've got enough left.
I'm totally throwing Andrew under the bus.
Science is adding a drop of water, just one drop, because a single drop can dramatically change the nose and the flavor of it. Again, this is counterintuitive, but I always sometimes think that it knocks the nose down instead of opening the nose up, which is what it should do according to the science. Oh, maybe. Okay,
I might pour some more if this turns out well, like, because I it's always interesting. He's tasting it. What is he going to say? We're waiting.
It's the exercise of the mouth that I'm fascinated.
You want to hold it for like 8 seconds and really move it around your mouth, all the parts of the mouth, to make sure it coats the tongue and the top of your mouth and your gums. You taste it all over the place. I'm not
no whispering.
I knew what you were saying.
She's making lewd comments to me.
Hey, Andrew. Oh wait, I did the wrong side. You saw my mouth.
This is what Tammy said.
Terrible. It's better without the water. It's not bad with the water, but I think it's better without the water. I mean, that initial flavor of the mint and the lamb and the savoriness of like whatever vegetable's been nearby, sweet glaze on the lamb. Oh, this is a meal.
So excellent. Yeah, it reminds me of that. It reminds me of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, where there's a gum. Like she choose that gum, and it's like, this is an entire meal. Like that's what the Scotch is. Like, there's the gravy. There's the it's everything.
Well, it's now September, and I think I'll probably start my November beard at this point and just like go into it. My beard was crazy. And then we'll have another shave off in December.
Yeah, shave off. I'd have to grow out some more. I don't know. I might shave this off though. Might get rid of this. I don't know.
If you do, I think we have to do it on the show.
Is the shave off in stages? Or is
Oh
it
no, it's
after?
live during an hour as we sip scotch and then we shave off parts of it. So
Ooh, I
I
hope
had
Yeah.
you're doing it with
French
electric.
down here that I shaved off, so I had kind of 2 half beards.
You
with
can
it.
watch the previous one of both of us doing that, actually. Right? It's on
It's on the Instagram. Yeah.
Instagram, yeah. It's on the gram.
It's on the gram, man.
That's what the kids say.
You can also TikTok it, too. It's like,
You can't.
No,
That's not enough time to shave.
You have to dance while you're shaving.
You do.
Yeah. And you have to give all your personal information to the Chinese government. So no, I don't want to take that.
true. This is true.
What do we got next in
Hey,
the
well,
lineup?
let's
I'm
move on,
excited. I'm excited because that was so good. We'll have to see what's next. Yeah,
This one looks clear, this next one.
It does. So
it is.
this next one
So
is
wait,
called
so
Real
just to clarify,
Showstopper, and so we'll see if this stops our show or not.
okay.
This is a Glen Moray, a 35.214, a real showstopper, a refill hogshead, 13-year-old, and it's 55.6% volume. Now, this is probably paler because it's a refill hogshead. Now, what they do is bourbon makers can only use a cask once. It must be a virgin oak cask, and I think this was a bow to the timber companies in the U.S. to make that law enforced for bourbon manufacture. But the Scots never wanted to go and buy anything new if they could get it used. And this is not a slight on Scott. I'm part Scott.
It's wasteful.
It's wasteful.
It's wasteful.
They were
And they
original
said, "Oh,
recyclers.
ship them over here. We can do
Superior.
something with that." Yeah. And so they break the casks down. They break the barrels down that the bourbon makers use. They ship them over to Scotland. They have coopers there that will remake the barrels, but they make them a little bit larger. So a barrel is one size. A hogshead is slightly larger. I think about 50 liters larger or something like that.
And that's where the concept of the TARDIS came from.
That's completely not correct. But yes, of course. Yes.
I'm the one who says fake information, and Andrew's the one who says real information. Just so you know.
Already out of control. This is so good. I don't want to go back. Okay.
So this is now. These are both Scotch Malt Whiskey Society.
Yes.
Both of them have been so far, which I'm always excited. And I feel like I've had this before, a real showstopper. I think I've had this maybe at your house at some point. Oh, no.
I think you did, or we did it on one of the debearding shows. I can't remember because we did a lot of SMWS bottles on that.
Yeah, that sounds familiar to me in this. Oh, God. That's so good.
Ooh.
Boy, this is
Oh, wow. That is like
a
a
drunken baker at 9 p.m. because they get up at 4, rolling into bed. He's still got, the flour and yeast on from the day.
This smells like a delightful party, like the best party, like a Christmas party, but I know the last one was Christmas. This is like a Christmas party that is with all the best people at it and the best food. Like that's what it smells like to me. It just smells delightful.
It's so clear. It's almost nothing. But what a nose.
I feel, shouldn't we have had this at the end of the show since it's a showstopper?
Well, we're going to see if it stops the show in the middle. I think it's an experiment we need to go
Good
through.
point. That's a good point.
Joseph, sorry, Tammy.
Oh,
Yes.
How much
man,
whiskey have I had?
not enough.
Anything to add?
You
Our
can call us
guests?
Joseph.
Yeah, what do you guys think? Our guests, what do you think?
It's yummy.
Tammy said that she smelled pear. We haven't tasted it yet.
Ooh,
Oh yeah, maybe a bit.
yeah. No, I definitely smell pear.
It feels a lot, it smells a lot more delicate than the previous one.
Oh, that is deceptive. I don't know how to translate that from the smell to the taste because the taste
It's not. The
No.
nose doesn't prepare you for the taste.
No, it's a.
Deceptive.
I'm trying to how to term this without being rude.
What? Why? We call this the fucking I love whiskey fucking whiskey
No, it's the
show.
caca. I put caca. Love whiskey.
There's only one F-bomb in the title, but you can
It's a
have it.
really it's a surprising kiss. The smell is not does not prepare me for the kiss of what it is because it's this is not an amateur kiss.
It's got some funk.
Yeah.
Really? See, it's strange because I seriously don't know if it's because I'm a female, but this is much more delicate than the previous one. I would have rather started with this one.
Huh.
I think the nose is more delicate, but to me, the taste is like a kiss that you end up and you realize you're sinking into a deep well.
Okay,
with
everybody extols the French kiss. This is a Scotch kiss. This is going to get into you, and it's like, yes.
But the smell is kind of like, all right, this is going to be a one-night stand. I'm not really interested in this person beyond this whiskey beyond just tonight. And then when you drink it, it's like, ooh, I'm starting to think about dates down the week.
Yeah,
that's the way I put it.
I feel like this is a kiss from a Kelpie, where like you kiss them and then it's like you realize you're submerged in a deep well, and you're like, I'm okay with it. I'm drowning today, but it's worth it.
I can live off the kiss. It's okay. Right now,
the kiss will sustain me as long as I never tell anyone about my secret Kelpie wife.
To asparagus, I agree that the color is very much like the classic laddie. It's a very pale. This might be a little bit more pale than I'd expect a classic laddie to be, but
you call it a laddie? I'm sorry.
Sorry, there's another distillery, Brook Laddie, that makes the classic laddie, which is a blend, but it's not a blend. It is a vatting. It's not a single malt. It's just a malt. And it's delicious. It's so good.
Have we talked about what a vatting is? I don't know if I've heard that before.
Goodness gracious me.
Yes. Oh boy. You're bringing in lots of vocab.
He's going to go bring a vat in, and it'll be a vat in.
Okay.
Oh, so, no, I guess not.
If you have multiple distilleries that bring, and someone brings all of the whiskeys together from like, a Macallan and a Glenfiddich, and they blend it all together, that's a blended Scotch whiskey. If it's a single distillery that takes multiple of their casks and put them together, it's called a vat. And they can still sell that as a single malt because it comes from the single distillery. So they malted all their stuff there singly.
We have talked about this before. I just don't think I've heard the term vatting before.
Yes, that's what they prefer instead of blending, even though the blenders say, well, we're doing the same thing the batters are doing, but we're just not a single distillery. We should be able to call it vatting rather than it's a whole thing. You don't care. But Brook Laddie, the classic Laddie, if you have a chance to get, they do such a great job of hitting a flavor profile. Anyways, someone in the chat was saying this looks like a classic Laddie color. So we went onto this whole tangent. Does that help ground you?
Yes,
that's
because
important.
learning all these new, the new terminology makes us feel a little bit more educated and a little bit more refined.
This is the purpose of the show. Absolutely.
No, and I'm not kidding you. It's like to learn, terms like laddie and vatting is helpful because, as with everything, to learn something about something you enjoy it makes it a little bit more fun to drink.
Yeah, 100%. The more I know, the more I don't know, and the more fun I have. I just want to point out we have 13 viewers right now on Outpost 13.
Oh yeah!
Lucky.
I should talk about Gatefall. Should I show them Gatefall?
Oh yes, let's talk about Gatefall.
This was a Kickstarter, and it just came out. I'm one of the designers and the writer of the rules for this game, and there's a bunch of additions happening. So I would try to check this out. This is Gatefall. And it's like it's a strategy game, and the figures are gigantic. There's one right here that's Serene, but there's also, let me take a look at what's in the box. Look at these! Look at these gigantic figures!
Oh my god!
This is Brog. You do not want to go up against Brog.
I could take him down easy. Come on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We might have to put you in this game.
I'm not a classic laddie. I'm a classic lassie. So there you go.
This is our life.
And anyway, this is fantasy versus post-apocalyptic. There's like every expansion will just be like any sort of characters because it's like a gate, and then the battle is between anybody or anybody. So
cool.
Is it a board game where you use those figurines to move around, or is it a? Yeah. Okay.
If I buy multiple sets, can I play chess?
Yeah, you can compete like against different, the different whatever worlds will fight each other. They'll be like Alice in Wonderland or spaceships versus fantasy versus post-apocalyptic versus ancient Egyptian or whatever. It'll be
That's kind of cool. How big is the magic
character, Joseph?
What's that?
You have a favorite character or figurine?
Ooh, currently I'm pretty excited. Like we just added a couple new characters that are in playtesting. They haven't been released yet, but one of them is John Henry, and I'm pretty excited about that. I don't have a copy of that because it hasn't been printed yet, but it's one of the post-apocalyptic. The idea is that, like, you know, John Henry, like, in the past he was defeated by machines. This is his revenge, and he's back in the future to, like, you know, I'm gonna lay down some hammer work. But he's got a little crowd control.
Set.
Yeah. What's that?
It's like an expansion set. Then.
What do you think
It's an
John
expansion.
Henry would prefer? Would he have preferred the Glen Moray or the Ardmore?
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a good question.
Yeah.
You know, I think the Glen Moray. I think.
Really?
This is. I can't really say a negative word about any of those two. They were both my favorite whiskey.
This is definitely my favorite whiskey so far.
It's probably depends on the time of day or what day it is for you to designate.
Entirely.
Yeah.
It
There's
changes
times where
throughout the show.
I want a classic laddie. There's times I come home and I want like that single cask from, you know, Highland Park or something. You know.
Yeah.
Is anybody sciencing this?
You go ahead.
Are you sciencing?
I will do it.
You don't have the equipment.
Someone should.
You just need a glass of water, and you can just like dip your finger in the glass of water and put a single drop in. If you
just
need
get a
to.
one drop. You just want to get like one drop.
I'm hoping you have water in your house. If not, I need to come over there.
We don't have any water.
You're dehydrated. I'm worried about you now.
We only drink whiskey.
Smart. It's been filtered. The alcohol kills everything.
I do feel like it opens up the nose a bit, but the nose was so delicate to begin with that I don't know that it makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. It went boom.
Huh.
Yay? Nay?
I like it. It's not like a huge, it's like a lateral move, but it's definitely not bad. I feel like it's a more kind of spicy upfront relationship than it is more of like we're going to be dating until you don't remember who you are. Like this is more of like not a one night stand, but maybe like a week stand. Like maybe like you're traveling and you're like staying somewhere for a week and you have a really intense relationship and then like we got to leave, you know?
The symbiosis of the collective soul has not taken you in.
Yeah, you're not going to move to, you know, wherever for them. What kind of tires does it taste like? They don't all taste like tires, McCready.
Until we get the last one, then you can ask us that.
Yeah, because that's a Laphroaig, so probably there's some tires in there.
When you put when we added the drop of water, it means it's more of a week-long stay rather than a one-night stand. It's like this is a lot more
for you.
palatable and it's much more long-lasting, I guess. Whereas the other one was without the water droplet was like exciting and really surprising.
Oh yeah. Without the water, I prefer without the water because that's like let's live it in the car, go wherever, it doesn't matter, we're together, it's fine.
Yeah.
With the water, it's like I really want to see you next week, but I gotta go home.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely, I think more intensity without the water, I would say.
Correct.
Yeah.
I found with the water, that cinnamon kind of burn at the end just lasts and lasts and lasts, and I think that's probably what makes you feel like, oh, this is a longer term relationship than just the non-water version.
I guess it depends on what you're in the mood for, right? So it's you know if we do start at 5:30 drinking whiskey, I think this would probably serve us better rather than, you know, oh, let's meet at the bar at 10:30. It's like, ooh, one shot. It's like, oh wow, I got it. I got it. I'm there.
Oh yeah. No.
Yeah, I wouldn't say no water, but I would say it's like a lateral move.
Yeah, it's interesting both with and without. So we put like a single blue dot on there, which means try it without first, try it with. You'll be happy either way. Not really recommended.
Yeah. It's not really transformative either. It's not like it massively changes it. Where you're
like,
oh, this is like, sometimes you put it in, it's like, oh, it's a different drink, you know?
Sometimes it really wrecks it. So Danny, are you doing anything right now? Are you doing something online, some virtual acting, improv, anything? You're Outpost 13. You've been on some things, right? Did it put you on the spot? You look so frightened.
Well, I've been doing a lot. We're Outpost 13 is part of the venture that we're building now, and there's more to come.
As you will see tomorrow, September 13th. Yeah, as
Well,
April 13th. Yeah, a whole 13-hour marathon of stuff that we're all trying to.
Yeah, tomorrow we're doing Where You At, and that's with Mirage Thrams, who's an activist and a teacher and a survivor of cancer and a mother and a Leo, which is something that's very important to her. We're going to get to have a really good conversation with her. She does a lot of work. She's produced and directed things with Second City. She's produced some shows. What is it? Directed Black Verse and the Color Collection, talking about diversity. We're very excited to have her. So that's a show that we're actually involved in terms of being the face of. But in the meantime, we've been working a lot politically. We're working with super PACs.
Let's see your sign. Yes. Tammy designed the sign, right?
Yeah, let me show you it. Yeah.
This is our Let's Go Vote poster.
How can someone get one of these, or do you have to know Tammy and?
Yeah, you got to know Tammy.
There's a website there that says vote.org. I bet that'd be a good place to start.
I don't know.
No.
Don't go there.
Tammy designed this, and we've just been involved politically and in trying to find where the next step of theater is going and how it can be connected to streaming. So all of that. But
it's very interesting.
I'm looking at
friend
the
Rebecca Northam
about
is doing drive-in theater where people drive their cars in and sit in their cars and watch theater being happening. It's being happening on the stage place with the actorings and the lighters
and the light blaps and the talking of the word that the make.
I fucking love whiskey. Whatever.
I fucking love it.
Oh man.
Sentence started well and then it crashed. Just like
No. We're just taking a break. We're taking a breather. We're letting ourselves breathe after breathing in all the scents and the complexities of the two samples of the Ardmore and the Glen Moray.
McCready 13 wants to know why the sign isn't in your yard, or is it actually in your yard as well as being in your living room?
It's all over the place.
It's all over the place. But if you guys want one, you just have to message us and we will deliver them. Contactless deliver them to you. So that's it's important for us to be able to, make sure that people
Let's not make this the last election in this country. Let's not make it that.
Yes, let's not make it that. And fill out your census. If you haven't, and make sure that we vote. And I'm not going to push anything as to how. But
just don't fucking vote for Trump. We're not going to push anything.
Oh, he's drunk already. Okay, all right. Okay.
I'm drunk. I'm just a lightweight.
Yeah.
This message brought to you by whiskey.
Yes.
Yeah. No, not Trump.
Yeah.
Police.
Yeah.
We're not going to steer people. Come on.
The liquor connoisseur, thank you so much for joining. Yes, liquor connoisseur. I apologize. Yes, we have a YouTube, we have a Vimeo. You can find us all over the place on there. We have an Instagram. I effing love whiskey. Follow us there. We'll put updates on that for what we're doing next. I fucking love whiskey. Just in case that was a question.
It was not clear to me.
I didn't hear anyone ask it, but I wanted to answer it before it was asked. Let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to this thing. This thing is
it's so good. All right. Okay.
K&L gets some exclusive bottling sometimes. This is a Balblair. This is a 13-year-old Balblair. It is obviously a sherry cask. Look at that color. Oh my God. Also 13 years old. And it is 56.2% alcohol by volume. I don't think I have to tell you anymore because we're just going to jump in and taste it. This is bottle 54.
This is interesting. I didn't know K&L had special bottling that they did like that.
What they will often do is buy out a cask. So some of these independent bottlers or some of these distilleries will say, hey, we have a cask to bottle. Do you want to buy some of it? And they'll go, we want all of it. And so K&L got 100% of this, 507 bottles of this Balblair sherry cask.
I'm excited. I'm almost as excited as if we had a Scotch malt Meemrenar.
It's not just me.
It's one of these days. It's one of those days. A Scotch malt whiskey society. This is exciting. I'm excited.
Oh, this is a lady.
Oh my gosh.
There's another one of those sweet ones, but it's
This
like
is-
a deep, it's a deep, nice, gentle sweetness.
It's not overt.
Yeah.
It's been.
It's shy. It's shy, but you know there's stuff going on in there. It's shy, but you know there's like a deep river under it's like we're gonna have a good time.
This doesn't, yeah, it's not striking me as shy because it kind of hits me like
It's very assured.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's like a varnished wood from a wood shop. You've got the sawdust over there, and you've got the varnished wood.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm falling into the crack in like a wood, like a varnished wood, like the deep brown, like just like sinking down inside of it. When I take a smell
Into
of that.
those grains in the wood, those streaks. You're just like unevenly going into it. Yeah.
Yeah, if I was going to build a house in this, it would be a house in a crevasse underground, like a deep earthy. There's a canyon in Oregon, in Oregon called Oyanita Gorge, and it's like you walk down this. It's filled with a river, and you kind of hike down it or climb down it, and at the end there's it's kind of like a box canyon with like the sunlight streaming down, and there's a waterfall. It's like amazingly beautiful, but hard to get to. That's what this reminds me of, and that's where this house would be.
I want to go to that house. That was wonderfully put.
Ooh.
Oh, you're tasting.
Mhm.
Oh, I can't type, but I hope you get it.
Oh boy, that smells
Oh,
good. I don't even want to taste it. Did you taste it?
Oh my. Yes, we tasted. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a very full, voluminous packing of all the flavors in this little sip.
I feel like this is one where the nose does lead to the taste.
Yes.
But the taste is like you like that smell. Enjoy that 100 times as the flavor is that inside of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this reminds me of William Goldman as a writer, because his early books, he did, of course,
Princess Bride, which is there's
the screenplay writer
Yeah.
and All the President's Men and Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. But his early novels, before he was a screenwriter, the first line of every chapter is amazing. It just instantly puts you in the place of where the character is, and you are wanting more. And I find that this hits you with, I have so much to give you here, and I'm just like, this may be my favorite whiskey.
It's my favorite whiskey.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
okay.
Amazingly, we started on such a high note, but each of these has been better. I can't disagree with that. Yeah, this is like the anticipation of
What's the favorite whiskey alert?
But yeah,
It's Thaddeus's first night, so like give him a break.
Mm.
Yeah, this is like
with us, so he might not. There it is.
It's like the promise of this. It lives up to the promise. It's like, I'm going to do this. It's like someone going, I'm going to do this, and then they actually do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Or I am what I smell like.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's no fooling. There's no.
Yeah.
There's
It's that kind of assured. I am what I smell like.
What you smell is what you get.
What you get. What you smell. Yeah, exactly.
You get that wonderful sherry cask, and you get the kind of bitterness on the bottom end of the flavor.
It does. Like that cherry is so much in there. Like it definitely is like sherry. Like you get that. Like it almost is like a little sip of like a dessert wine. Like it's.
And there's also, I feel some envy while I'm drinking it.
Wow.
Because it is so self-assured, and I'm feeling that, and I'm also realizing, I'm not as self-assured as this is. But if I keep ingesting it, maybe I will become self-assured. There's this kind of lovely codependent relationship I have with this.
Danny, this whiskey doesn't think about its self-assuredness or not. It just is.
Yeah.
This is a very improv sort of thing you want to be.
It is fantastic. This is
my gosh. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you. I fucking love whiskey.
What?
I shouldn't bury that lead. I
Wait. Yeah, I feel like this has been the show where that's been said more than any other show so far.
These are.
Balblair.
Yeah,
Again, this was just me sorting by age. Going, here's all the 13-year-old whiskeys I have, and there's not a lot of them. I think I have like 3 or 4 more than are in this list, and so just picking 4 out of those 7 whiskeys that I have, and this is what the show is.
I'll be honest, I do not want to science this because this is so great. But at the same time, I feel like it might be interesting.
Save it. I'll conduct the experiment because this is not my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not my favorite, so I will conduct the experiment.
Who invited Tammy to the show exactly?
Because
Oh my gosh.
Exactly. Hello.
I'm glad she's
You
here.
guys are the fools. You guys are the fools. It became more caramelly.
I didn't see that.
That's not bad.
Now I like it better.
I'm gonna science
Now
it.
I like it better because yeah.
I'm gonna science it based on what Tamlyn says. I'm gonna do it.
Tammy, I just want to say in the chat, or Tammy and Danny, in the chat, there's people that say they would like the whiskey better if you guys could break into a number from Hamilton.
Which one? Ha ha ha.
I think it's
Oh yeah, it definitely. This is
I'm
like
in the cabinet.
a
I'm complicit in watching him grabbing at power and kissing it. Washington isn't gonna listen to discipline, dissidence. This is the difference. This kid is out. Oh, this immigrant is somebody with Jones. Oh, oh.
Wait a minute. Some of those are not words.
Motherfucking Democratic. Maybe we.
You know what? I think that satified the chat, though. I
think we got it.
Oh, we can do more.
Well, you know, you can have do a show where you just do that. I think.
Okay.
Actually,
No.
Tam,
You guys science this, right?
No.
I did, and right now the nose, definitely like a lot of caramel. This to me is like this is like a molten caramel, like with in the
It
nose.
feels much more of an ice cream sundae kind of feel now. I enjoy.
I haven't tasted, but
I enjoyed the self-assuredness, but to me it was just a little bit too much in my face.
Oh.
I have a little face, so I preferred the Glen Moray, but this one it's not like I'm going to turn him down, but a little drop of water, it was like, I'll take you home.
I feel like this whiskey is listening to me a bit more. It's a bit more demure than the other one. It's not as self-assured, and I feel comfortable with that.
Yeah.
At least the nose.
Yes.
I agree. It softens the spiky flavors of
But
it
to
without
me, it
water.
was just a little
It gives
bit
it a
too
kind of
much in
a
my face.
rounder, softer, kind of like envelops the chat rather than
I think we got it.
That's my
we can do
terrible
more.
description of what's happening to the tongue. But
Well,
It's
you know,
more rock
you
and
can have like
roll
your
rather
do
than punk.
only.
or-
This is
I'm
like
in the cabinet.
yeah,
I'm
it's
complicit.
gotta go rather than a thrash.
Washington isn't gonna listen to
I like the
dissidence. This is the
aspect
difference. This kid is
without
out.
the water.
Oh, this immigrant is somebody with
I would say water, yes, but it's subjective. I would say, but I liked them both ways. I liked both.
This is still
This is like
either way my favorite.
This is
whiskey.
like a
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
For sure. And they've all been
Bad.
fantastic.
Balblair.
Oh, we can do more.
Balblair.
Yeah.
I'm in the cabinet. I'm complicit in watching him grab
They are just around the corner from Glen Moray,
got it.
which you may have heard of as a
Yes, of course.
Scotch whiskey.
Only
So they're
this
just
is
up
like
in
a-
a little inulette.
Maybe
You know what?
Yeah.
I think that satisfied the chat, though.
Inuit.
Maybe
You know what?
around
I
the
think
corner
Not a
from
native.
Did you say Inuit?
You know what? Native
This is
Canadian,
like-
Northern Canadian.
I
No,
love that.
not like that.
Motherfucking Democratic.
Inlet. Just on the Scotch
Only
Highlands.
this is
I'm
like
in the cabinet.
a
I'm
Okay.
complicit in watching him grabbing at
So-
power
so
and kissing it.
just to
Washington
know-
isn't gonna listen to dissidence. This is
number
the difference.
13, I
This kid
just
is
have
out.
to, you know,
Oh, this immigrant is somebody with Jones. Oh,
very good number.
Only
and
this is
high.
I'm in the
like a-
cabinet.
Could we find more 13s in the show?
Washington isn't gonna listen to
Confluence is
this.
the
We're going
confluence.
to difference. This kid is
Adopt
out.
our 13th
Oh,
cat
this
set.
immigrant is somebody with Jones. Oh,
All still alive?
The cats? Oh,
Wait a minute. Some of it's not
Like
words.
13 Among Us.
Motherfucking
Oh,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think we
this
do.
is like a
In our family, we have 13 cats. Our niece and nephew have 5 right now. My mother-in-law, Tam's mom, has
5 at her house.
5,
And we have 3.
and we have 3.
So there we
I'm of
That
the
was-
opinion cats should never outnumber people in a house.
It's fun when they do.
little bundles of joy. But let's
People.
yeah, the Balblair, I think is a very civilized drink, and putting a little water or a splash, as they say, I think makes it a little bit more democratic. Whereas when it was just out of the bottle of its own, it was much more 1%er, and for me it was like, but
Wow.
yeah, who doesn't want to be a 1%er, right? But I enjoyed it both ways, but I prefer it with the water. Yeah, because it's much more the caramel aspect was much more flavorful and more pronounced.
This is going to sound super revolutionary, but I would want to be a 1%er only so I could overturn the fact that there are 1%ers. Like, you know what I mean? Like you would have that moment of like to Warren Buffett it, you know what I mean? But in a greater degree, but
It's what you want to do with that power. And absolutely, that's all power to you. All power.
The Tipsy Asparagus clipped your Hamilton little rendition, which I freaking love. Thank you, Tipsy Asparagus.
Oh, she tipped. Oh, fantastic.
Thank
He
you.
or he, I don't know.
He or she.
Thank you.
So good.
In a female or a male form, or in a gender neutral form, them.
We can do requests from any scene. Tam is really good
No.
at
West Side Story.
no. She's good at Hercules Mulligan. That's her. She can be dressed up to go to premiere and looking fine. And if we hear as we're driving down, because we play Hamilton in the car, if we hear the Hercules Mulligan, she will go from putting on her makeup to Hercules Mulligan, and she's like, a British tailor spying on the British government. I take the measurements of permission, and then I smuggle it up to my revolutionary. She plays it great. It's great fun. Not in this state. No, of course. No.
The chat wants to see you do this, Tammy.
Oh my
Well,
God.
one person does. But
It would be so slow motion. It was like, a tailor spying on the British government. I take the measurements information, then I smuggle it up to my brother's revolutionary covenant. I'm on the Sons of Liberty, and I'm loving it. See that's what happens when you in the,
Against the ruffians.
This is what happens when you up against the ruffians. We in the shit now. Somebody's got to shovel it. Hercules Mulligan, knowing the introduction. When you knock me down, I get the fuck back up again. Oh! Jeez. Oh my God. Yeah. It's
Oh my
That's
goodness.
an alter ego.
that was delightful.
Alter ego, yes.
I hate to move off of the Balblair.
No! Smelling it.
I would hate to move off of it, except what's coming next I'm so excited because I have not tasted this yet. I opened this bottle just to distribute to you folks. I have not tasted this before. I have some folks on the Instagram. I can't remember who was like enthusiastic Gramature or something, told me that this is the real deal for a Laphroaig. This is peaty. This is going to be where you can ask us what kind of tire fire this came from. This is here we go. Wait.
Now I got started like into scotches with Laphroaig. Like Laphroaig is my jam. I drank like the standard 10-year Laphroaig for a while before I really started to branch out. Like I love the tire fire. I love people are like it's a pile of burning boots. Like I'm all about it.
Why do you?
But in
call
a good
it
way.
Fire? Why do you call it a tire fire?
Because it has peat in it from Isla, which is influenced an awful lot by seaweed, which gives it this kind of iodine, this kind of medicinal, fennel kind of medicinal Band-Aid kind of flavor to it.
During Prohibition, you could buy Laphroaig because it was not considered an alcohol. It was considered a medicine. No one thought you would drink it for pleasure.
Really?
What?
Wait until you smell it and you'll go,
You'll see.
And is it seriously because of the addition of the use of seaweed?
It's because they use this, so it's not seaweed per se. It is on Isla. I mean, okay, let's step back here. When you make a Scotch, now thank you for stepping back. When you make a whiskey, you need to germinate the malt. You need to germinate the seeds so that they start actually converting the starches in the kernels of the barley into sugars. And that's what germination does. It starts converting those starches into sugars. So they lay it out on this nice floor. They spray it with water. The seeds go, oh, great growing season. And they start to sprout. And they sprout about like just a little tiny bit out. And they go, that's enough. You've converted the starches to sugars. Now we're going to kill you. How do they kill you? They throw you into a kiln. And the kiln will heat these barleys up so that the plant life in it just basically dies. So it's converted the starches to sugars. It's got a little tiny bit of shoot, but it hasn't become an actual plant yet.
Right.
So you've got you've got now like a little sugar bomb, and that's what you really want. Is you want the sugar to be able to brew into a really crappy beer, and then distill it into the spirit that goes into the kegs and the casks that becomes Scotch after 3 years.
Oh,
So.
okay.
Wow.
The rest of the world had a whole bunch of wood to burn. So they burnt wood underneath these kilns, and the wood would heat up the kilns and kill and dry the barley so that they could then grind it up and make the beer.
But on Isla, they didn't
but on
have any
Isla,
wood. It was an
there's no
island.
trees.
What are you going to burn?
Well, you know what? You dig up the ground, and the ground burns because it's peat. It's vegetable matter that's been compressed over 10,000 years, probably 10 to
The bogs.
50,000 years.
The bogs.
It's
On
not
its way
quite
to becoming
coal. Not yet. Not yet coal.
Coal.
Yeah.
So it burns really greasy and really, gives off a lot of phenols, and that coats the barley. And when they grind down the barley and they make it, they get this kind of smoky flavor in the whiskey because the malt that went into it was coated with these phenols.
Okay.
So when we say tire fire, you're going to smell this kind of peaty, iodine coating on the barley that went into the cask, that went into the thing that's been sitting here for 13 years in this. It said it here. I saw it for a second. Into this single cask that's been here for 13 years, a sherry cask. It's been in a sherry cask for 13 years.
Now, is Laphroaig normally put into a
It's going to have
sherry
some
cask?
smoke. What?
Is Laphroaig normally put into a sherry cask?
They will put it like a lot of these distilleries. They'll put it into a bunch of casks. Even Lagavulin will put it into some sherry and some bourbon, and they'll mix them
So
together.
if I get a 10-year Laphroaig, is that that is a blend, but within the same distillery? Is that what
that
that
is? A vatting.
Now, vatting, that's the word.
As we talked about. With
So
Rick
it might
Riley.
have some from a sherry cask, some from something else.
Yes. And how much of which is because they will put it together, and the master distiller, the one who creates the vatting, will be tasting it and going, it needs more sweetness, more sherry, needs more bourbon, needs more vanilla, more sweet notes, and they'll match it so that every single Laphroaig 10 you have tastes like the last Laphroaig 10. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to give you consistency. Whereas if you get a single cask, they're all over the map, and that's what makes it so exciting for me. This is a single cask Laphroaig, which is very exciting. I haven't even smelled it yet. We're at 6:23. I don't think there's another show coming on tonight. If there is, Paul or Matt can tell us in the thing.
They'll let us know. Sherry, right?
Blah, blah,
She's
blah.
a fine girl.
I can talk for too long. You
What
know
a good
we
wife
need?
she would be.
We need to taste whiskey.
Absolutely,
But
Andrew,
my
thank you
life,
so much.
my
Your
love.
knowledge, your knowledge, Andrew, is like you make drinking this, and
Story like.
it's more fun.
Yeah,
This is fantastic. Your knowledge is a doorway to fun.
Yeah.
But my knowledge is like this in terms of the whiskey making. The actual knowledge of people that do it there's no comparison. Like
What I love about Andrew is his excitement for this. Like he is so you can see how much he loves whiskey, and that is infectious.
Oh wow. Totally.
Oh,
right at the
oh,
start.
I can
Right
s-
at the start.
Yeah, boy.
You can
Wow.
smell it off of this.
Yeah. Right at the
Yes.
Wow.
if you've smelled a Laphroaig, you know what we're smelling right now.
Wow.
It's sweeter. It's maybe a little bit sweeter than a standard Laphroaig.
Woo.
a little bit.
That medicinal.
Yeah.
It's
See,
like
so phenols at a higher level, phenols are used in kind of the Bactine that they'll put on wounds. So the smell from a Band-Aid or from other things. You know, that kind of fennel
Yes,
medicinal smell.
you're saying fennel and fennels, plurally. You're talking about the vegetable, or are you referring to the vegetable?
It's a protein, right? Yeah.
It's PHENOL. It's an
got it.
alcohol molecule.
It sounds like okay.
Yeah.
It's alcohol. It's a vegetable. It's an organic molecule.
Yeah.
Got it.
And alcohol. Yeah, but this like definitely like Band-Aids, rubber pool, like all of that. Like
the plasters. Plasters.
For the chat, I'm just gonna say Pirelli tires.
Oh, someone asked if Christopher Walken just showed up. I feel like we should all do our worst Christopher Walken impersonation briefly.
Oh, Daniel does an excellent Christopher Walken.
Now you've already ruined it. Then, if you say excellent, then it's going to be a disappointment.
I do probably the worst Christopher Walken impersonation.
I think Tammy might do the best.
No. This is surprisingly smooth. It's shockingly smooth.
That's how you would take it in? Because I take in this smells like trouble to me.
Good trouble.
This smells like
maybe good trouble, but it's strong.
That is welcome.
Yeah, but
there are smells, and of all the smells, this is you want to smell something, smell this.
Wow, who was that?
Exactly, we don't know. Not Christopher Walken.
That was more Al Pacino and one-word imitation. The guy who's antipesto guy.
Antipesto guy. This is this is
wow.
The
we're tasting.
Yes, go taste. I did taste.
You tasted this?
Yeah, that's why I say
He doesn't want to taste anymore. Don't give her any more. Just keep it to yourself.
Oh man.
Because it's the consistency of the flavor.
Oh, man.
Goes through space.
That is my favorite whiskey. If there was like a double favorite whiskey, I would say this, because this is like super Laphroaig.
Wow.
This is like the quintessence of Laphroaig right here. That is amazing.
None of the sharp notes of a Laphroaig. Like the scratchy bits that go down. This is just like the smooth end of Laphroaig.
It's very.
This is a meal. This has many different notes all throughout it that keep revealing itself.
Boy.
Playing.
I think it was Enthusiastic Dramature on the Instagrams that told us this was like the real deal Laphroaig, and I am so happy I have this. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. This is the real deal Laphroaig. This is like, the quintessence.
Yeah, from what I have, and I'm totally a neophyte. I'm a baby infant about whiskeys. This is what whiskey is, because it's the
wow.
It's the consistency of that one strong Laphroaig flavor. This is my first one, but this is whiskey. There's no caramel. There's no cinnamon. This is the essence of whiskey. I from the four that we've had this evening, it's whiskey with a WH capitalized. It's for sure
whiskey.
That kind of idea of what it is.
And that's one of the reasons why I so loved Laphroaig when I first had it, and why I drank it for so long. I still do, but it's like, because the first time I tasted it, I was like, this is like what you think whiskey is going. It's like what you imagine. It's like the platonic ideal of you're in the cave and it's like out there, the real whiskey doesn't taste like these shadows. And that when the first time I tasted it, I was like, this is what whiskey should taste like. This is a bunch of like, people sitting around in a drawing room with leather chairs and like, animal heads on the wall smoking cigars. This is like the stuff. Right?
Yeah.
What
It's that scent of peat and the smoke and the
smoke
sugar
is very
and whatever that distinctive flavor is in the three ingredients that Andrew had gone over for us. I mean, the water has to play a part in it as well. The minerality,
there's definitely a salinity.
Of whatever the Scottish Highlands,
It's also been in a warehouse right by the sea for 13 years as well. And they say that they say the salt air that comes into the warehouse and just like sits on the edge of the cask, that also gets kind of sucked into it, gives it this kind of salty sea flavor.
But you got to imagine the water on an island
by the sea.
Yeah.
The water on an island's got to be a bit more briny than regular water because, like, the wells there are, probably a bit, I don't know, like touched by the ocean, right? Maybe
Well,
I don't know.
the water that goes into making this is all rain. In Scotland, it rains for 280 days a year, just like here it's 280 days of sunshine. So they have a lot of water. And that's
but the
really
rain
what
that
you
falls on an island is gonna have a different quality than the rain that, because like, are they just collecting it directly from the rain, or is it like?
Yeah, it falls into these locks where it collects the water and it comes down these streams and drains into the ocean. And that's really why they had it. It's like they have nothing but rain there. Like that is their biggest national.
But locks are lakes. And the streams are like, this is all on an island. So there is, I feel like the water's got to have just a touch of brine in it.
Now that's entirely possible because it's coming through this island, which is made up of this peat, which is vegetable matter. And so it's collecting whatever flavors the ground has. So it's all kind of conflated in there. Absolutely. You won't catch me dissing any Isla whiskey. My God, I love that stuff. All
of the Isla whiskeys I love too. Like those are my favorites. Like Ardbeg is what I'm on now, but this is making me remember how much I loved Laphroaig and what it was all about. It's so good.
Yeah, this is. So are we going to science it?
Nope.
I'm not gonna.
If you need to, you do it. Not me.
Someone asks, how does this compare to a Talisker?
So a Talisker, here's the disappointing thing I learned about Talisker is Talisker gets their wheat from Egypt. The barley from Egypt. They will get their peat from around Inverness. So they don't do anything local on Skye where they brew. Now I like a lot of Taliskers, but in terms of like a distillery that's doing it like native terroir and like trying to make it of the place where it's from, Talisker doesn't give an F. They are part of Diageo. I think it's Diageo. They don't care. They are just making whiskey, and if you buy the whiskey, yes, they're happy. It's not like Brooklady. There's not many independent bottlers anymore, independent distilleries anymore. I've lost my train of thought. I don't know what it is, but Talisker, I mean, like, Talisker is not about the best possible product they can make. They're making a good product, but they're not about the best possible product.
Okay.
I feel like Brooklady is trying to experiment and do wacky, weird things. I feel like, Ardbeg is doing just like they're everyone's investing in terroir. Everyone's investing in like, we are making this from the place where it is. And Talisker just to me didn't seem like.
Now, if someone from Talisker is watching the show right now, and they're
I would say that to their face,
and they're like,
told me this,
and they're like, if they're like that, that's wrong. Send us some whiskey. We'll taste it on the show if you want.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Send us some whiskey.
And tell us where it's from, where the barley came from. Tell us where the peat came from, and then we'll correct ourselves. But
prove us wrong by sending us whiskey.
So Andrew, would you know with this Laphroaig, do they grow? Does that particular distillery grow its own peat and barley in Scotland?
So Laphroaig, Lagavulin, and Ardbeg, and Colilla, and I think also Kilchoman, all get their peat from Islay, because Port Ellen is the malter they use, and Port Ellen is a town on Islay, and so they all use peat from Islay to smoke the barley before they malt it and brew it. Brooklady gets their peat from Inverness, but they're very open about that. So it's a different feel for theirs. Theirs is more floral and heather and that kind of stuff versus the Islay peat, which is more iodine and smoky.
The Inverness is much more Wuthering Heights.
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's rolling fields.
Yes, it's the romantic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then about the casks that these whiskeys are distilled in, do the trees are also local to the particular area?
No. The oak casks come from where oak trees grow. So they're from the States. They're from Spain. They are from France. They are from other places, which people in the chat will fill me in with.
Okay. Yes, please do.
People in the chat are so well informed, and they
Yeah,
have
they are.
Google, so
Much better than I, because I mean, we have liquor connoisseur. We've got some other folks in the chat that are way smarter than I am.
Yes, I'm sure.
And probably, I'm hoping, less drunk than I am.
That's interesting.
Diageo,
That's
yes,
big difference.
yes. The tipsy
Because the show the soy sauce.
love hate. Sorry, Daniel. What?
In Japan is done in casks of local wood. That's very important to how they make shoyu in Japan. And it's interesting that these casks would not be from the local area.
I don't know what kind of trees are local or indigenous to Scotland, but it's fascinating always. And just as a little transition, because there's a very, very popular Japanese produced series drama based on a dude way back in history. Oh no, I beg your pardon, a woman who
Even better.
Who falls in love, a Scottish woman who falls in love with a Japanese man who has traveled to Scotland to find out the secrets of making great whiskey. And that was the beginning of a beautiful, true story romantic relationship. And it's hugely popular. The Scottish woman learned how to speak Japanese. Her husband learned how to speak English. And it's that kind of, we're all global citizens and trying to, be the best at something or create something that's flavorful and can be appreciated, not only east, west, but north, south. And it's just been a great, an hour to spend with you talking about whiskeys and how it's grown.
I want to know what this show is, because
I don't watch it. My mother watches it, and my mother doesn't drink. She doesn't drink a drop of liquor, but she's fascinated. And again, it's that romantic idea of what whiskey tastes like. But she doesn't want to get, because she's very, very church going and she's very proper. She doesn't want to get
people in church can't enjoy liquor.
I know, but the sense of letting loose. But she loves the story. She loves the story. She loves the true romance associated with learning about whiskey and what it's about and how we can all appreciate it. So it's been a fun kind of journey to take with you this past few minutes.
We're happy to have you. Yeah, this was a great show. We love you guys.
100%. From the moment it started, just tremendous fun, and I am so glad, Tammy, that you jumped in and joined Danny.
Yeah, we thought we were just gonna have him, but now that you were also, it was like a bonus,
Yes, it is.
Frickin' frack.
Oh, Danny boy.
Oh my God.
The pipes are
See, I told you, we're both the lightweights. We're already there.
From Glen to Glen Fiddick, Glenfiddich, Laphroaig, Glen Moray, Ardmore.
She always makes up words to songs. Always.
Why would you not? Why would you not?
All Balblair, beneath
Balblair.
the countryside. Yeah, so I have to give props to all the whiskeys that Andrew took.
The great care of sorting my spreadsheet to find the 13-year-olds.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
This was a great lineup, though. This was just in every one of these. Because we started on such a high note, and then we went up from there. Andrew, you nailed it with this. This was great.
Again, this was just me sorting my spreadsheet by 13-year-old whiskeys. There are so many great Scotch producers. There are so many great whiskey producers. And some people are saying the Japanese whiskeys are doing amazing. They absolutely are. I don't know about a lot about Japanese whiskeys. They're hard to get if you want to get the really nice stuff. So if there's a Japanese whiskey expert we can get on the show, maybe we'll get Gary back because he seemed to have a lot of connections there. I'm willing to learn. I want to learn about this. And big brands like Diageo, they have such amazing distilleries, and then things like Blair Athol, they don't let any kind of single malts come out of there unless you go to the distillery. You have to really fight to get and they make such great stuff. I don't understand this. Rant.
I have a question.
Thank you for being on the show. That's what I want to say. You guys, such fun from the start. Yes, Joseph.
I have a question for these two.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, because I was just kind of thinking, like, now, after like the time we've spent together and all the things you've tasted, do you like whiskey?
Oh, fucking love whiskey.
fucking love it!
Love it.
What's that fucking? Come on, I'll fight you. I'll fight you outside. We fucking love it, you bastard. How dare you insult me and my family? How you insulted my kittens and my cats? My mother, no. I'll fight you outside. How dare you say that? Take a punch. Take a punch. Take a punch.
All
right, about what I expected.
Yeah, the Irish guy came out really, really weird.
Love it. We love it. We love it.
Again, thank you so much for being on here. Thank you, Outpost 13, for hosting us. If you are new to Outpost 13, you want to subscribe, because tomorrow, and actually just throughout the week, they have such great programming. Tomorrow's a 13-hour marathon for September the 13th. It kind of ties in. It's starting at 11 a.m. with Where You At, which I think Danny and Tammy are going to be.
Yeah.
They're going to be on that. Where You At?
We may be drinking during the.
Yeah, do it. Do it. As long as you reference our show.
Absolutely.
At 12:30, there's Coding Cones, where Ian Carroll will be teaching someone how to program or pair programming with someone to do coding online and talk about how coding can change the world. It's amazing stuff. Rolling with My Homies is at 2 p.m., where a person in a wheelchair can, I don't know her name, I'm sorry, will talk about her life experience. What is it? Sandita?
Yeah.
We'll talk about her experience of being in a wheelchair and the questions that she gets asked about being in a wheelchair and how she experiences that. 4 p.m., Two Liars. This is the best game show ever. I don't care who wins. It doesn't matter. There's 3 improvisers on each side, or 3 people on each side. And one of them is telling the truth and 2 other of them are lying. And the other team has to figure out who's telling the truth. And it is the most delightful thing I've ever seen. It's hilarious. It's so hysterical. Tune in at 4 p.m. At 5:30 p.m., State of Outpost 13. The founders of Outpost 13. I'm going to drink more whiskey. I don't care.
Outpost 13.
They're going to be talking about, like, what's going on with this thing? What is this Twitch channel? What does it mean to be? What are we trying to do here? At 6 p.m., Friend Fiction. This is a new show. This is their premiere. What's happening? What's 6? What Joseph, what are you doing?
Well, the way I'm looking at the Twitch stream, and you can only see me if I lean over to the side because there's a big graphic. So I'm just trying to be part of the show and uplifting what you're saying. That's all.
No, Thad, can you move that over so Joseph can't be seen? At 6 p.m., Friend Fiction. Friend Fiction is happening. It's a new show. I don't know much about it, except they're going to be talking about, popular culture, where the hosts have kind of got a crush on this fantasy figure. And I think their first person they're having a crush on is Prince Sudoku. I'm pretty sure I had that correct. Prince Sudoku. That's correct.
Sudoku?
That's totally correct.
Is that from Avatar? Or yeah, you don't know anything, Andrew, so it's okay. But I'm sure if you tune in tomorrow,
Thank you.
You don't know anything.
I don't know anything. It's actually true, but it's hurtful to hear it.
well then throwing it right back at you, Andrew and Danny and Joseph. Who was the first fictional character that you crushed on?
This is gonna blow your minds. That would be Bambi's mom.
Bambi's mom?
Yeah.
Bambi's mom?
When I was really young, I had like a pillow when I was like literally like a toddler that had Bambi's mom on it, and I was in love with her.
Yeah, of course. Because
sweet.
Yeah.
And I'd never even seen Bambi. Like, it was just the pillow had like Bambi's mom on it, and I think
then you can't watch Bambi because it's traumatic.
That's right.
It's traumatic, and
it doesn't turn out well for Bambi's mom.
What? Spoilers!
Andrew!
It's not okay. I'm gonna have to wear a hat now. I know I'm not Tammy, but I'm gonna put a hat on.
Yeah. Ooh, there you go. Is there a fictional character that you were in love, that you were crushed on, Andrew? Danny?
It would have been Catwoman from Batman.
Which
yeah.
one? Which one?
Not Eartha Kitt. Sorry.
Oh,
What?
Okay.
No, the lady who
Julie Newmar?
Julie Newmar.
Julie Newmar. Julie
Yeah.
Newmar.
Yeah.
It is the first memory where I can remember where I was like, I think I'm heterosexual. Like it's not that I thought that at the time, but it's kind of like, I don't know why I am totally into this character. I couldn't understand it.
Yeah.
I'm very old.
No.
No, yes, I am.
Yeah, Julie Newmar is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, on fan fiction tomorrow with Prince Sudoku. Yes, I gotta keep it rolling.
Prince Zuko.
Prince
Dante
Sudoku.
Bosco?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
Prince
God.
Sudoku. That's totally true.
Girls need help then. Okay.
We're gonna have two heartthrobs on
I gotcha.
for the show. Eric Carthen and fucking Alex Kahn are on that show.
Oh, I love those guys.
What heartthrobs themselves. At 8 p.m. it is the Pug Show, which is an improv show. I think I talked about it before. I don't remember. It's the Pug Show. It's with improvisers from Not Improv Theater improvising a game. Featured with Roberto Lewis. He's the person. And then at 9:30 p.m. this is my favorite show on Outpost 13. And I include my show because I love this show where I get to drink whiskey and talk to you wonderful people. But at 9:30, Made Up Music, my favorite show on Outpost 13. Alex and Arlo will take suggestions from the chat and they will make up a song based on your input. And you hear the song, you go, that's so great. Hey, I contributed to that. It's phenomenal. If you have not seen people actually be able to work the Kuglabaka and the Shkapapo, the music programs that make music, Hashkapuka and Shkapulto, those two, they're both experts on those two programs and they just make the song happen. It's fantastic.
Because Arlo and Alex make magic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Facts.
All right. I'm done with the plugs.
Thank you.
Watch tomorrow.
Watch tomorrow, starting at 1. What
11
time?
11 a.m.
11. Where you at?
I would have thought 1 o'clock because that'd be 1,300 hours. Oh, Outpost 13, did you fuck up?
Yeah, we did.
This is true.
Cheers.
Goodbye, whiskey aficionados and those who wish to be. Join us. Join us.
Follow us on these tweet handles and the Twitch and the Twitters and the Instagrams, mostly Instagrams. Danny, Tammy, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Joseph. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Glen Moray, Ardmore, Balblair, and Laphroaig. 13.
And Outpost 13.
And Outpost 13.
Outpost
Good night,
13.
everybody.
Take a love whiskey.